are live. I'm Ronnie Harris of the Limitless channel, live on the Limitless channel, and I'm joined by Jason Laufenberg of the Awake Souls YouTube channel. How you doing, brother? Let's get this going.
Thank you for joining us, everyone, at the center of Censored Headquarters, Team Yahawashai News Network. How are you doing, brother?
Good, I'm good. Been a tough battle with my mom. She's still not well. Yahweh's daughter. She won't be joining us tonight. We're still working on that. All the prayers are super appreciated. Thank you, everyone. And then
Yes.
we've got hit the phone. We've got some super updated news to talk about your channel.
Yeah. We were all happy because we were able to go live when this last Sunday night. We set it up to go live on your channel because I had gotten a second community guideline strike, and then all of a sudden we found out that it disappeared. And so we're like, all right, well, we'll use Awake Souls now that it's back to one strike. So we did that hangout, and that evening, I got another second strike from YouTube. So I'll be showing the documentation of that because we had somebody in the chat that was calling into question whether or not this is what's actually transpiring or if it's some sort of shield tactic. So I'll show people what I got from YouTube, and so that puts me back in the position of riding on two strikes where the third one takes the channel out. So we're trying to avoid that. And so the way it works with their system right now, it takes 3 months for these to clear. So strategically, my play is if riding two strikes, just keep everything on private except for, I feel like I have a couple save things up right now. So this is 2 weeks that I can't do anything with the channel whatsoever. And then after that 2 weeks is up, my strategy will be to just be posting notices on Awake Souls that we're live on the Limitless channel, or if something's happened to this channel, we're live on, Beyond Flat Earth or one of our other backup channels. So we're still continuing to try to hang in there with YouTube, although we're going to be covering section 230, which might be the end of all truth on the internet. So I don't know, there's actually a fair amount of things to go through and talk about tonight. We like to document everything. We like to show people what's popping, what's hot off the press and stuff like that. I know you've got a ton of links. So
I got a few links, but
what people's appetite for what's coming tonight?
okay. So, so why don't you let people know? So, what are you going to be sharing besides the section 230?
Well, I want to document the channel update just a little bit, and just sort of add to what I said about, so the Awake Souls channel is parked right now for 3 months, unless if something happens like last Sunday and all of a sudden one of these strikes disappears, because that has happened already. So we can't discount the possibility that all of a sudden one of these strikes will disappear again. But we'll document this so that people don't think we're just blowing smoke at our arse. And so the section 230 is something that we covered before. I'll be able to show people the hangout. It's on private right now, so all these things have been set to private because of the strikes and stuff like that, but we'll be able to go in and show people where we covered this section 230. And then I really want to go into the calendar a little bit more. Again, if people remember, we did the hangouts regarding the 19-year Metonic cycle and the lunisolar calendar. It's been called the Enochian calendar, but there's multiple Enochian calendars. So we started showing people, and then there was days that we're pointing out from that Enochian calendar, and one of those key big dates just began for us like an hour or two ago, right? So when the sun set today, we have now entered the 17th day of the 8th month, which is the day the flood began. So I've got tabs up where there's a group of people that are referencing the Enochian calendar versus the screwed up Hebrew calendar versus another Enochian calendar. So I've got some of this calendar stuff I want to point out to people that is sort of there's a lot of validation that I'm seeing right now from multiple sources that the one calendar that we've pointed to is the accurate, real calendar, and that so today at sundown for wherever you are would be the beginning of the day the flood began on the correct calendar. One of the people that I just want to do a short little clip of references this, and it's significant, right? Because we were told that, as in the days of Noah, this is something that we've hear in multiple sources bring up. I some of the stuff that we're covering, Section 230 popped off, I guess, last night. Trump tweeted about that last night, like 8:45 or whatever. So there's multiple things kicking off. There's other dates that we want to point to. So it's not just this the day the flood began, but there's a number of other ones that are popping off here quick, and we want to show them on this calendar that seems to be working. And people know about it, but I see some shillery going on where they're not really telling people that they know about it while they're still putting it out there in front of them. So we're going to be doing a little bit of pointing out that, all right, it was put out in front of you for you to see, but it wasn't, they didn't help you understand how to interpret the information, which we'll try to help people do tonight.
Yeah, those are all great points. Just to start off, what I wanted to talk about is basically, like, I was thinking about the whole coronavirus vaccine. I guess I shouldn't say those words. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care about the censorship. They're going to censor
the jab.
Now.
Well, yeah, and if
jab,
if the 230 happens, we're probably all out of here.
Yeah, we'll get to that point as well. Just don't give it away just yet. And so I was thinking about the whole idea of getting a vaccine. I thought to myself, would I go get in a head-on collision so that I could, make my bones strong enough to get into a head-on collision? Would I like beat cancer and then say, hey, you know what? I think I should do a bunch of rounds of chemotherapy so that I don't get cancer. There's just some idiotic things that are taking place right now. I wanted to talk, a few things tonight just to whet the appetite. There's this big rally people are talking about, like, are you against masks? Are you against, like, losing your freedoms? John Hopkins put in an article basically saying that COVID has no effect on the deaths in the U.S. There's stories breaking about monoliths, and I'd like to give everybody a little bit of my understanding of what I think's going on here and why they're placing these monoliths all around. I don't know if people have been seeing that, as well as I'm going to relate it to a short video dealing with the war that's coming between the sons of darkness and the sons of light. That's where I'm going to tie it into what I believe the monoliths are sort of tied to, as well as we've got some Obama news about taking vaccines, and we have heard Trump actually come out and speak, right? December 2nd, right? Is that
today? Yeah,
today, right? So we finally heard Trump talk about the whole election fraud, and that's
so. What did that? That's like a month, right? November 3rd was the election.
I don't blame the guy. He spoke like
December 2nd's the first time he talked about the election fraud.
Yeah, well, we watched him, just to listen to the nonsense that he was spewing, right? Because we both know that he's, bought and paid for by the Rothschilds. But anyways, he was doing like 6 rallies a day leading up to the election, like but 2 hours a time he was doing. It was insane, right? So we basically, I can understand why he would be taking a break. So what do you know about the monoliths?
I've seen the headlines. Right away, it takes me back to like 2001 Space Odyssey and just Freemasonic, Kabbalistic occultism. And so I saw it pop up in the news, and it, like, a lot of the people were covering it, and it was one of those headlines that, to me, I was completely not interested in, so I didn't pay attention to it, other than seeing and noticing what was taking place. I guess it was here, then it's not here, and now there's another one, or there's like 3 or something. So now all of a sudden monoliths are the thing.
Yeah, they're popping up all over the place, right? And I don't know if you've seen the Space Odyssey 2001, which could have been some kind of 2021. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but there was a monolith that popped up when the humans were supposedly monkeys or whatever, apes, and then they all just start killing each other, right? So I'm going to be relating to that to what I believe is going to be happening. Yeah, the Johns Hopkins thing is pretty interesting. Basically saying that the COVID has absolutely no effect on deaths in the U.S., so it's just the exact same. Nothing has really changed. It's crazy. Obama being in the news, talking about vaccines. We've got the monoliths. It's pretty interesting what we're seeing taking place right now, as well as the whole election fraud thing. We know that's going to heat up. There's probably going to be some crazy. I don't know if they're going to There's a good chance they're going to overturn it. That's what I think is going to happen due to fraud, because they've actually got the evidence this time. Because cheaters cheat. All you have to do is set them up, and you catch them every time, right? As if you want to
and make it easy for them too, because they really don't like to put forth effort either. Like, cheaters are always looking to like circumvent the effort. So if you make it easy for them, they're gonna like
Trump set them up. Trump set them up. It was see, that's the difference. I don't know if I want to go into that rant. But yeah, so that's basically what I've got to cover tonight. Keep people. I don't know what everybody in the chat and everybody that's listening in the future, if what you guys are seeing going on with your daily news, your truth or information, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Now, my channel doesn't have anywhere near the subscribers that Jason does.
It doesn't seem to make the difference, because what is it that we get in views typically if we have like a fresh, breaking, super hot, informative 1,000 views? So there's only really like possibly 1,000 people interested in the truth.
I used to share
in the world.
I used to share our stuff 1,000 times each video, right?
So you've got 5 times that amount of subscribers.
Yeah.
Which is more than adequate. Like,
yeah. No, I don't care. I'm not about the views. I'm about sharing the truth and being here as much as possible. But yeah, no, thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat. And even the lurkers, thank you guys for showing up too. We appreciate every one of you. Leave a comment, share your information, share your truth, right? So I don't know if you want to start the screen share off tonight, brother.
Sure, and we can pass it back and forth.
Sure.
So I'll get set up.
Sure. Yeah, so everybody, thanks for coming. I know that it's a change to not be on Jason's account anymore. But that's the way that YouTube wants it to be, right? They want to play games. So there's nothing we can do. We can just continue to do the best we can on all the channels that we have. So, but I'm still glad everybody showed up.
And the thing is we can always leave YouTube too.
Yeah. We've got BitChute and all that other nonsense. We've signed up for all those accounts. I think this will go to BitChute when we're done. So that's positive, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody, hopefully everyone's having a good day, getting through the week. Okay, Jason, I'm about to present you, and you are go.
All right, so this is the dashboard for Awake Souls. And you can see up here, channel violations, active, community guideline strikes, 2. So this is what YouTube gives me. 2 of 3 community guideline strikes. Your content was removed, blah, 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 blah. So 12 days left on 2 weeks is what they're telling me right here. So originally I was given a warning on October 22nd, 2020 for formerly known as Q, Supreme Lord Commander of Space Force, blah, blah, blah. This was anti-Austin Steinbart and Space Force and Q and all that stuff. So I was given a warning for harassment and cyberbullying. I appealed. It was rejected. Then I was given my first strike for the Alex Jones Millennial Millie Deep State Coup d'etat PSYOP. And so this, they said, was community guidelines. Appeal submitted, actually have not received a response on that appeal. Now, right now it's showing this bottom one, but I want to show you a couple of emails, because if you're paying attention here, the first one was Steinbart and Q, then the next one, Jones, Millie, and then now it says stop using sunscreen immediately down here. So what had happened was I had been given my second strike for this video, QAnon Supreme Lord Space Force Commander Tard Austin Steinbart plus Golden Dawn, Donald Trump, Death Faker. So in here, it tells me your channel now has 2 strikes. You won't be able to do things like upload posts and blah, 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 blah. So this is what I had originally received the 2nd strike for, was this video. And this is the one that just all of a sudden has disappeared. It's like, never happened. And then after we went live Sunday, then I got a different 2nd strike for stop using sunscreen immediately. It is poison and part of the pandemic. Hashtag sunscreen kills. Now, I even have written, let me see here, this is my response. I'm just going to read it to you. As can be seen by the thumbnail of this video, this hangout was a review of mainstream news coverage of the dangers associated with the chemicals in sunscreen. The Wall Street Journal and other reputable news sources were used. Many reputable sources have been speaking about the dangers associated with sunscreen use, and there is a new group of articles that come out every summer with warnings. Also, the individual active drug ingredients of sunscreen were looked at individually as to what their side effects are. There was no misinformation in this hangout. Please remove the community guideline strike. And you know what? I wrote that to them. They already rejected that appeal. All right, so this one stuck. Now, this one's the appeal submitted. This one's still hanging. So this is where I'm at, and strategically, I'm just gonna have to let the channel sit until February 28th, when I could go back, I guess, as soon as February 6th using the channel, because this one will have expired by then. But it's going to be months. So everybody, please be prepared for us going live on the Limitless channel during this time period. In 2 weeks, I'll be able to start putting notifications up. But until then, I can't do nothing. So this is what we have to deal with when we try to talk about the truth. So that's documented. All right, where should we go next? Because the calendar thing is sort of a big topic, and Section 230 might be less of a big topic. So you want to talk about Section 230 quick, brother?
Yeah, get into it, bro. Do it. Get it.
Like I was saying, the tweet from Trump apparently came out last night, but I didn't pick up on it until today, so December 2nd. And it has to do with Trump saying he's going to veto the entire national defense funding bill unless Section 230 is terminated. And so this is, they're showing yesterday, this went down last night, Trump threatens defense veto over social media protections. So defunding national defense in the United States over getting rid of Section 230. Wow. I mean, this is like monstrous.
Screen share froze. I don't know why.
Should I reshare?
You could try, but I probably have to reset it myself. I don't know why they always do this to us.
All right, stop
it,
share.
It was good. Yeah, it doesn't even change when you do that. Unbelievable. No. I don't even know why OBS does that to us. Probably because I don't have an Apple product, right? What is it? Was it Thursday? Was it Wednesday? Wednesday today?
Today's Wednesday.
Wow, this is our old Beyond Flat Earth Day. Now it won't let me copy.
No, I know. Isn't it funny how things go down like that?
Yeah.
This is the and for it to be the correct biblical day the flood began day.
Yeah.
So I didn't mention this earlier, but
Now you're good.
So it began at sundown in your location on Earth, and tomorrow it'll end at sundown. So we're really at the beginning of that day, and it's not until the sun is set everywhere on Earth tomorrow that day will be over. So I'm still pumped up, hoping that we get some sort of big biblical thing popping off. But there's interesting things like Donald Trump with his Section 230 and him speaking about the election on this day. So we've got some interesting timestamps. We'll see how it all shakes out. Are we all set?
Yeah, you're good. You're golden.
Okay. So I guess this is what he said. Last night, 8:45 p.m., December 1st, 2020. Section 230, which is a liability shielding gift from the U.S. to big tech, the only companies in America that have it, corporate welfare, is a serious threat to our national security and election integrity. Our country can never be safe and secure if we allow it to stand. I mean, do you see the way he's framing this? Like Section 230 is the enemy that freedom fighters want to get rid of?
Yeah, we don't know, right?
What do you mean?
Well, we do have a theory, right? We do have our ideas that once they repeal it, it's going to create us all into a huge problem, right? They're going to boot us all off the internet.
Well, it's not just our theories. It's actually pretty much everybody's been saying it. This right here is on Godlike Productions. And so if you do Section 230 in the search here, there were polls. So did they just delete? Well, so Trinity is the forum master moderator or owner or whatever of Godlike Productions, this Trinity character. And he was popping off about this. He goes on to point out that as soon as the protection is gone for the big service providers, internet service providers, that forums like this will be gone, right? Because this would be a liability risk to AT&T, to Spectrum, to Cox Cable, to any of the big internet service providers, the Verizons or whoever it is. If you have a forum that lets people talk about things that they think that they could get sued for, gone. Gone. Just across the board, gone. It's too much risk, too much liability. So what the removal of Section 230 is talking about is the creation of an internet that's just like cable news.
Yeah, they're going to take everything down that's not what exactly Google and YouTube want promoted on the website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a pretty big deal. So I'm dealing with censorship on my channel as far as these community guideline strikes are concerned, but Trump has really pushed things. He pushed them all the way right here, where he's saying he's not going to fund national defense if they don't eliminate the protection of Section 230. So do you think they're going to let the funding for national defense lapse? Do you think the people that make, that run the military and all that kind of stuff, they're going to just be like, okay? Or do you think that they're going to repeal Section 230 and let the internet service providers start eliminating the people that they don't want around. I think the military is probably going to get their funding. I think we're the people that are going to lose our ability to be able to share information online. It's a serious issue in my opinion. I don't know how much farther we can. So if the channel disappears, the channel disappears. We'll try what we can, but if Section 230 gets repealed, what we're being told is that there's pretty much not much chance that we're going to be able to share truth online anymore. Let's see, what else do we got here? So Section 230, let's go back to, so you can see here the videos on private. Had to put everything to private because of the 2 strikes. But streamed live on October 21st, 2020, it had 853 views. This is a great thumbs up to thumbs down ratio. All right, 60 up to 2 down. Section 230 repeal will purge the internet of all truth, plus the World Debt Reset Program exposed. So we were already tying these things together all the way back in October. We have so many, like, just on the cutting edge, breaking timestamps for covering this stuff. And look at what we have in our coverage here. I just clicked on it. It's at the 53-minute mark. And at this part of the article, it says, in fact, rolling back Section 230 is likely to bring about more censorship, not less. Fearful of lawsuits, the platforms will take down anything, even remotely controversial, so that only the most inoffensive content remains. It's hard to know what the answer is to how Facebook and Twitter should regulate speech, but this ain't it. Right, so it's disappointing that videos like this can't just be left up because of the type of censorship that we're going through, but the articles are literally about the type of censorship that's going to take place. So it's, I guess, ironic in that sense. Let's see, what else did we have in this hangout? So we covered the Section 230 thing. And where did this go? This went to so this also had the World Debt Reset, and we covered all. Yeah, so it was covered. Is there anything that you want to add regarding the Section 230 thing that's going on, brother?
No, you pretty much nailed it, right? What's going to happen is they're going to take that down, and that's the ability for content to be allowed up on the site without YouTube being sued. So as soon as they repeal that and take that away, any content that any group out there that has money says we don't want on our site, you're gone. And we already know the content that's anything to do with the truth, that's against the government, that's against war, that's against this, that's against that, anyone that's anti the jab, anything close to that, you are going to be so far from the YouTube site that you won't even know what YouTube is anymore, right? So it's crazy that Trump's threatening to cancel the Department of Defense or whatever spending, right? Isn't that what it is? Completely the military spending. Did you read about that?
Department of Defense.
He's going to cancel the funding for the DoD because he wants YouTube to be sued by like. See, that's the thing. People aren't really breaking this down good enough, in my opinion. They're not looking at what's going on, what's being said, like. Because they're deplatforming so-called right-wing and truthers, taking away the ability for YouTube to have anonymity, I don't understand how that's going to help anybody. And we're going to find out. Could this be the last thing that Trump does, right? I don't know. We don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say about that topic.
Yeah. So if you read around people, most people understand that the repeal of Section 230 means absolute, full, and total censorship. If there's somebody out there that's trying to promote that this is somehow going to protect you from censorship, you're listening to a complete and utter shill. The people taking those stances are so far out on a limb that they're being paid super, super well for that type of position because it's just stupid. Like nobody with common sense is going to believe something like that. But there's still people out there that'll take that line, and they're shilled out, super shilled out. So just understand that if we lose Section 230, chances are our channels will be wiped off the internet, and there won't be a place to put them back up again. Nobody will allow anything that would go against the mainstream narrative, because they're the oligarchs, the technocrats, the people that own the internet, right? The entire infrastructure, the delivery system. So you get your internet from an internet service provider, and they have towers, they have cables, they have lots and lots of computers. And they own it all. Right? So these internet service providers, if they can be sued for the content that you're producing, they're not going to allow it.
No.
They won't allow it.
Oh, why would they? That's retarded. So you've got it on Godlike Productions, right? Can you move your mouse? I want to see if it froze. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you want to take the screen share and
sure. You got more or what? Like
well, I've got the calendar thing, but it's like a whole section.
A whole section. Okay, we can break it up. Sure. Is that what you want?
Sure.
So yeah, thanks everybody again for showing up in the chat. It's nice to see the regular people here. We always appreciate that. And yeah, we're just gonna keep doing what we do. We're not doing as much lately. There hasn't been too much to talk about. So
yeah, it's been dead.
A little bit rough.
But we'll point to some dates on the calendar that we should all be watching towards that something's going to pop off on one of these dates coming up.
Yeah, without a doubt. Hopefully the screen share is coming through. It should be. So yeah, thanks again for everyone that's tuning in. We appreciate you very much. So we've got here this first link. A couple links were sent in by John Smith, avid fan, or I guess subscriber, team member of Team Yahushai from Estonia. We don't have fans.
We have no fans.
I don't even know why I said avid fan.
That was weird.
Really weird. We don't have any fans. We're not a sports team or something like that. We're truth seekers. Sorry about that. Forgive me. It says the most important event of your life: make freedom contagious. Are you against lockdowns, masks, social distancing, tyranny, or vaccine mandates? Join us live Saturday, December 5th. Did I just say September? I match these two things in my mind. Let's band together in the birthplace of American freedom. So we're going to the most satanic state, it's got a reputation. Go figure. Apparently David Icke, who, some people like some of the things that he says, all shills do say truthful things. I still don't know if this guy, I've heard his postulate theory, argued against, saying that he doesn't even have the right. It's not even trying to isolate what they're saying the cerveza bug is. David Icke, Scott Jensen. Lo and behold, the ex-ordained satanic Anton LaVey Satanist priest, Mark Passio, he's in Philadelphia, who also shut down his channel and said he would never do any of this ever again. But here he is showing up again. It's funny when people say that kind of stuff.
Look at this list you have, brother.
Jeff Berwick is going to be a speaker there from the... what is his channel name again? Bitcoin? No, he's the Vigilante, right?
So their channel names are under him, yeah.
We got Ron Renault. We got the double R, which is usually a code, but not always. But Rick Martin. We've got Nico Rocco and Estes Conway. So this event, it also starts saying down here, next schedule event. Oh, okay, so yeah, they're also doing this in Los Angeles, California. So they're just doing this as like a road show. Maybe they're going to have different speakers at each conference. So I'll be interested to hear what they say. Will it be live streamed? Will people record this and upload it to the internet? I'll be interested. What do you think, Jay?
It sounds to me like who are the guys in Texas that did the road show thing?
The sports guys?
Yeah.
Oh, what are they called? I don't know why I've drawn so many blanks.
Dude Perfect, right?
Yeah.
Sounds to me like this is like a quasi-truther Dude Perfect type.
Well, they got, I don't know why David Icke video. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand why if he was a speaker there, I should have looked closer. He should have been at the top, right? This guy will draw the people. Oh, Passio video. He's not even going to be speaking. Berwick video. So they're going to do video conference, right? Probably. Yeah. Whatever. Let's hear what they say. I'm interested. John Smith sent me this, and I was like, wow, that's quite the list of names, right? So let's keep this moving on. Got another article coming from John Smith. Again, Johns Hopkins retracts article saying COVID-19 has relatively no effect on deaths in the U.S. Where was the key that I wanted to point out what they were saying? The article claimed that in contrast to most people's assumptions, the number of deaths by Cerveza-19 is not alarming. In fact, it has relatively no effect on deaths in the United States. Wait, what? Did I read that correctly? Yes, you did. That's what it says. And it should come as no surprise that the article was retracted, because they probably told them they were going to sue them if they didn't retract the article. Oh, there happens to be a copy on the Wayback Machine. They're trying to change history. Yeah, they want you to donate to the Wayback. Oh, and anybody out there, if you don't know, I might as well drop a link for this. I don't know if Jason's ever used it, but me as a truther, I like to find information. There's your Wayback. You can go and you can put YouTube channels in there. You can put just about anything in there. And it'll bring back, generally, most of the time, a good article. Is this the same article that it opened up? I don't see anything different.
Yeah, a lot of these are totally republished.
No, according to new data, the U.S. currently ranks first in the total of Cerveza bug cases, new cases per day, and deaths. It looks similar. From mid-March to mid-September, the U.S. total deaths, blah, blah, blah. This is the average death rate per capita. That's what they're using as the supposed... Anyone dies, we already know. Everyone's seen the memes, right? Someone hit by a car, they died of COVID, right? Someone, their parachute didn't open up. It's because they had COVID, right? So we know that. I want to see this. It does look a little bit different. Brand also... had no effect on the percentage. Here it is. Therefore, according to Bryand, how do you say that? Bryand? It's a weird name.
Bryand.
I don't like weird names. Not only has Cerveza-19 had no effect on the percentage of deaths of older people, but it has also not increased the total number of deaths, right? The data that they've looked into and suggested. And this comes as a shock to many people. How is it that the data lie so far from our perception? To answer that question, Brian shifted her focus, it's a woman's name, to the deaths per causes ranging from 2014 to 2020. There is a sudden increase in deaths in 2020 due to the Cerveza. There is no surprise because Cerveza emerged in the U.S. in early 2020. This article is contradicting itself. But basically the data had showed that the average death rate hasn't changed at all. U.S. deaths per week, it's been steady. People die. That's part of you see the statistics here, right? Where's the...
Yeah, they increase in age, and then at a certain point,
Sure.
they die. It's
We all do.
pretty...
But so I thought that was interesting, just the fact that they had published an article saying retract, like, because it has absolutely no effect. The death rate has always been the same. So we can move on past that. Now we've got the monolith topic. So this was off the Drudge. So this monolith showed up in, where's this? Haciendo's Pine? How do you say that? I can't even read that.
That's a tough one, but California.
You're not even going to attempt it? Make me look stupid? It's like Pine Mountain, California. So when we go to the article here, we've got one in Utah, right? We've got one in Romania, and we've got one in the California. That's the one we were just trying to read. They didn't even put it in the title in The Guardian. So we've got these monoliths popping all over, and a monolith is a geological feature consisting of a single mass of stone or rock, such as some mountainous, or a single large piece of rock placed as or within a monument or building. So we know that in that Space Odyssey movie that I was telling people, 2001, when the monolith was placed, the monkeys started killing each other. So what this is what this means to me is that they want to start war. They want people to be enraged one against the other, and they're employing their strategy, whether they do it through social networking, social media, censoring the truthers, like Trump's trying to get the 203 repealed. All of a sudden, there's going to be people are going to want to shoot people that are taking them down. So that we've got all this tying together, like showing up these stupid monoliths, right? There's one there, there's one there. It's just ridiculous, man. Oh, it's the same picture a bunch of times. But, what I really wanted to get into was, how they've got these war scrolls, the Magog and Gog wars. So there was a clip here on Twitter off No More News, who's not on YouTube anymore. But we'll listen to it.
There are quite a number of documents from the Qumran sect that speak about Messianism, one of them being the scroll of the war of the sons of light against the sons of darkness. There are 2 points of view regarding Messianism and Judaism. One is that the Messianic era could be brought about by the slow improvement of the world until God would send his Redeemer. The other one is that there would be a catastrophe because the world was about to blow up. And at that time, God would somehow have to intervene, Deus ex machina, and redeem the world before being destroyed. The latter type is what these sectarians believed in. It's the idea of the war of Gog and Magog, or Armageddon, and all this.
כתוב בזוהר, לפני הגאולה, התעוררו מלחמות בעולם בין אדום לישמעאל, לא כתוב איזה אומות. אתם רואים מה קורה היום בעולם? נוצרים, היום יש את פוטין טראמפ, שזה נוצרים, אדום, נגד, 7 מדינות אסלאמיות, חכו זה רק התחלה.
He said Putin and Trump were supposedly Christians, and we both know that Trump's been given all these awards from the Jewish Kabbalah groups, and they've completely admitted that Putin was practically raised Jewish. So, I don't know how he can make this claim. So those 2 guys are doing the same thing that Mahister, I don't want to say the real full name, did, because that's totally going to get censored if we say that. We've got 2 of them now that are willing to toe the line. So what are you seeing so far from this, Jason?
I got into the chat. I wasn't super paying attention.
Okay, I'll just keep playing. It's cool.
התעוררו מלחמות קשות מאוד, לא בין מדינה למדינה, אלא בין אדום לישמעאל. זה מה שאנחנו ברוך השם במצב מתקדם של התהליכים האלה. רגע, אנחנו במרכז. תכף תבינו, אנחנו מאוד במרכז, כי כתוב, החפץ חיים אמר, שהם ילחמו זה בזה במלחמה שלא נראתה עוד בעולם כל כך.
Yeah, he's saying they're going to fight. The world doesn't see it yet. We're a minute away. The deadliest ever.
כך הרבה דם. ואז הם יעצרו באמצע.
And then in the middle, they will say,
רגע, הכל
wait, it's all because of
בגלל
the
היהודים.
Jews.
רגע.
Wait.
אני אומר מה החפץ
In the saying of the Hesperat Haim says,
חיים אמר, נא לא להתפרץ.
please do not disturb.
בבקשה. הוא אמר,
He said that they will not. They will
שהם
stop and say,
יעצרו באמצע, יגידו, רגע, הכל בגלל
all because of the
היהודים.
Jews.
בואו...
So they're basically admitting that they're trying to orchestrate this, and when you catch them and call them out, they're going to deny it and say, we told you that this is what you're going to do. You can see what they're trying to pull here. I'm sure everyone in the chat watching and the lurkers and the people in the future can understand, this is the plan. We are on the edge of what we could see as a major destruction, and the Beirut bomb that we saw could be repeated in multiple cities with catastrophic, significant death. That is what is foretold in the scriptures. If they don't get the chip and the vaccine to kill the people or to do whatever they want, that maybe they're just using all that to distract people, keep people in fear, putting the masks on, making people retarded, cutting off the oxygen flow to their brain. So many people now are just zombified. It's worse than ever. And what they're getting ready to do is they're getting ready to blow off a bunch of these bombs and say that people are at war with each other. So I don't know if Jason's watching or had any comments about this topic, but I can breeze through it if you want.
Yeah, I just finished a response in the chat, and I don't know, these guys, I sort of tune out for. I'm sorry, it's when the guys with the big beards and the beanies start talking, it just becomes blah 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 to me.
Well, he was speaking in Yiddish, so I expect you to say that it sounds like blah blah blah, but I'll finish it out.
תמיד הכל בגלל
Everything is because of the
היהודים.
Jews.
נשפך כוס חלב
A cup of milk is spilled in
בבייג'ינג
Beijing.
בסין.
It was the Yiddish people.
איזה יהודי גרם לזה בטוח.
Probably a Jew. The Jews
אז
are
גם זה
responsible
בגלל
for this
היהודים,
too.
אז הם ירצו לבוא עלינו. אבל השנאה תהיה כל כך גדולה שהם לא יצליחו. שהם לא יצליחו לבוא עלינו. ואז הם ימשיכו להילחם, ובסוף כן יבואו 70 אומות ביחד. גוג ומגוג, בגימטריה 70. כולם יבואו לפה.
They will come
ואנחנו לא
here,
צריכים לעשות
and we don't need
שום
to do
דבר.
nothing.
וגם לא לפחד.
And also not to be frightened.
זה הכל כתוב
It is
בתלת
all written in the Tana Davi Eliyahu.
ואליהו. תראו שהכל
And you will see everything is going to this direction.
מתנקז לכיוון הזה.
So they're calling it out that major war is going to happen. War of the sons of light against the sons of darkness, which could be kingdom against kingdom. You've got the heavenly kingdom and you've got the earthly kingdom, right? If anybody doesn't know, go ahead.
Yeah, war is the big thing that we're looking for to the end times scriptures. Like, that's really the thing. We're looking to see Damascus destroyed. We're looking for world war. It's what the scriptures tell us is going to be right at the beginning. So
Yeah.
it's no surprise to me there was that assassination thing, probably a fake assassination, but yet still made the headlines, and blamed on the Jihadians.
Yeah.
And then there's all these other saber rattlers talking about, the aircraft carriers and the Navy. This ship's here, they're going into here. And so they are doing the saber rattling for war, for sure, which is, I guess, what we need, we should be expecting.
Wow, I don't even know how my Twitter knows that I'm in Austin, Texas. That's crazy. I put my link in the chat for Twitter. I don't know if anyone else still uses Twitter. But this is my Twitter, the Limitless channel. It's at RJ080880, my birthday. Add me, I'll add you back if you're tweeting and tweeting things. There has been some people that actually found our channel due to the Twitter. Like I said, I try to share stuff thousands of times. Look at this. Obama warns activists against using the phrase defund the police, sparking criticism. That's hilarious, because the next article that I wanted to go to, Obama will take the coronavirus vaccine and film it to build confidence. I trust this science. Coming off CNBC. What do you think of that, Jason? If you're not in the chat.
Yes. Science. There's nothing in science that I trust right now. We've spent like 3 years showing how science is nothing but a university-taught form of Kabbalism, right? False explanations for what we actually experience and witness in this reality. And materialism, atomism, and heliocentrism, all those things come from Kabbalism, which is what they call science these days. So people go to university to learn this ancient religion. It goes back to the Canaanites. And they call it science. So when it comes to the jabs and all that, what we've pointed out is that it's been the objective of the Satanists, the fallen ones, these evil spirits that do run and control the world right now. They like to kill people, especially people that believe in the Creator. So if you're a Christian, they really, really, really want to kill you. And killing these bodies is semi-difficult. Like, they have to come up with serious poisons to do so. Even the people on death row, like, there's been so many examples of people, they tried to electrocute them and they survive. They try to poison them and they survive. And, you know, like, the guillotine is really the one method that they've come up with that
it's a guarantee.
Nobody's survived that one yet.
No, they can't. They can't sew your head back on. It's great, but it's funny how the bullet points read. Former President Barack Obama said he will take the coronavirus vaccine once it's available. Next one, Obama said he would be willing to film it if that would build confidence in the U.S. about vaccine safety. Obama's comment came as numerous polls find many Americans are skeptical about getting a COVID-19 vaccine, potentially jeopardizing U.S. vaccination efforts to control the pandemic. And it's funny because we've got Daniel Vallis, Informed Christians, just absolutely shilling for the vaccines, like calling people stupid and conspiracy theorists and all this nonsense, promoting it. But we've got old Barry Soetoro, Chicago boy, back on the scene talking nonsense, and it was Elvis Presley that they used to support the polio vaccine that actually killed, you know, I don't even know how many thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people.
Obama's got a, or no, that's November 2nd timestamp, that picture. When did this article come out that you're sharing?
December 2nd.
December 2nd. So he's got a day the flood began timestamp there.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, not that long ago too. 4:31 p.m. Eastern. At least it was updated then. Updated 2 hours ago. And then lastly, we've got Trump came out. If we want to hear this real quick.
Thank you. This may be the most important speech I've ever made. I want to provide an update on our ongoing efforts to expose the tremendous voter fraud and irregularities which took place during the ridiculously long November 3rd elections. We used to have what was called Election Day. Now we have election days, weeks and months, and lots of bad things happened during this ridiculous period of time, especially when you have to prove almost nothing to exercise our greatest privilege, the right to vote. As president, I have no higher duty than to defend the laws and the Constitution of the United States. That is why I am determined to protect our election system, which is now under coordinated assault and siege. For months leading up to the presidential election, we were warned that we should not declare a premature victory. We were told repeatedly that it would take weeks, if not months, to determine the winner, to count the absentee ballots, and to verify the results. My opponent was told to stay away from the election. Don't campaign. We don't need you. We've got it. This election is done. In fact, they were acting like they already knew what the outcome was going to be. They had it covered, and perhaps they did, very sadly for our country. It was all very, very strange. Within days after the election, we witnessed an orchestrated effort to anoint a winner, even while many key states were still being counted. The constitutional process must be allowed to continue. We are going to defend the honesty of the vote by ensuring that every legal ballot is counted and that no illegal ballot is counted. This is not just about honoring the votes of 74 million Americans who voted for me. It's about ensuring that Americans can have faith in this election and in all future elections.
So they're basically starting to swing the tables now. They've had all these conferences in all these different cities where the people involved with the political parties are coming out and saying that, No, there's millions and millions. They don't even know how many millions of fake votes. It's just, they're absolutely making a sham. They're making a sham of the whole entire political voting system. Basically, taking away we don't believe it's always been a selection, not an election, right? They select who they want to run the country, not the people. The Electoral College has always had the power to supersede the votes, the popularity votes. So it's just interesting that they're breaking this down. They're starting to do the flip as we get closer to that December 14th date. I think, isn't it the 4th where they actually meet again?
December 8th is a big day, and the 14th as far as the election process is concerned.
That's correct. We should hear something then, right?
Yeah, but we also have a number of December dates to pay attention to. December 10th. There's a whole bunch of things that... should I get into the calendar portion?
Sir, I'm ready for that.
All right. So Seth Jordan says, RV Truth says Trump applies orange makeup because orange is the Freemasons' favorite color. Yeah, the orange adds up to 33. I just want to make sure everybody knows, if they don't know, you can find this out on the internet, that Trump is a top level Freemason, maybe even the highest. He calls himself the chosen one. So the Freemasons, Jesuits, all these people, they look up to him as top leader. Who's above him in the rest of the world, we don't know, but he's probably the top guy in the United States. Let me get the share going.
It is ready for you, brother. Take it over.
But Seth has reached out, and I look forward to talking to him. We're always looking for people that are...
It's on Zoom?
Yeah, we got connected on Zoom.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I'm getting a black screen here. Let me adjust this. Yeah, OBS, man. It just wants to play games. Silly OBS. Doesn't it know it can't mess with me? Like, I'll always supersede it, right?
It's manual override.
You're good to go, sir.
All the best sci-fi movies have a big manual override scene where you all right, so like Ronnie had mentioned, this Informed Christians, Daniel Vallis, he's been watching for the return of Yahushua, even though he calls him Jesus and all this other stuff. And we've shared this material before, but like Ronnie mentioned, he just went off the edge super deep into shilling for the vaccine, saying that this is not the mark of the beast. You're crazy if you believe that, this and that. And so he did these super shilly videos. This one was published November 30th. And so we're dealing with the calendar. We're dealing with dates. And this has some dates for us to deal with. So his video came out, and he's got December 10th right here with the hypodermic needle. Now, we actually covered recently how the Pfizer and Moderna, the two jabs that we covered, they both are double dosers. And then the double dose, he's got super broken down that double dose needs to be received within the 21 to 28 days from the first jab. So he's got December 10th here, plus the 21 to 28 days, bringing you to, at the earliest, January 1st, and then the 7th at the later end of that. So I had noticed that stuck in my head, and all right, I'm going to jump ahead to, this is God's Roadmap to the End. Another channel similar to Daniel Vallis's Informed Christians, another end times watcher that makes good content, good videos, where he goes into the predictive programming through things like iPet Goat and stuff like that. A couple of the key things that I've called out regarding this channel is that the use of the term God. So this is completely ambiguous. You know, I would prefer that a channel would actually use the personal name of who it is that they're referring to, because God could be anything. It's actually a personal name for a Germanic pagan deity introduced into the Holy Scriptures back like 600s AD. He also uses the heliocentrism with a globe Earth. So, a couple key issues here, but well-made videos, and
I'll be right back.
And on point as far as well, the end times watch scenario. He's been right with it. So I've got a couple of clips here. He's going to point out to us this FDA sets December 10th date for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine meeting. So here's where the December 10th date shows up that was pointed out here. This wasn't well defined. It's just like Daniel Vallis just knew December 10th is the beginning of this, but it's like documented here that this is the reason why you might say something like that, because the 10th has been set as the date for this review. So we're at the 2nd. On the 10th, we're probably going to hear something regarding the vaccines. So let's give it a little listen here.
CV jab is expected to be given on December 10th. And coming back to this image that we started off with, the same imagery is shown to us in the iPetco 2 animation, but in this case we are also shown the date to which this is pointing, and that being December 10th. So we have a perfect match between the Google and the iPetco 2 images, one telling us about the choice between the mark of the beast and the sword being enforced onto society on this day.
So once again, the date as far as the iPet Goat, as far as where it's in the constellations, he's got this being a dead match to December 10th.
And the other showing us a possible date on which our enemy plans to implement this evil. From a biblical perspective and using the Hebrew calendar, this would be the first day of Hanukkah, or the first day.
All right, so here's where you gotta actually start paying attention, people, if you care regarding dates. What he's showing you right now is going to be, I'm going to show you a spreadsheet. And this calendar right here is going to be referred to as the screwed up Hebrew calendar. So it has the Julian calendar, or no, Gregorian, what we operate from right now, December 9th and 10th. Has let's see, as being the 24th of the Hebrew month. So I'll be able to show you where this is off. So he's pointing to this date right here.
Day during which the temple was rededicated to God. And there is much more that...
So this 24th day is the rededication to Yahweh.
The Word of God has to say about this date, as I will show you in this video. So please keep watching until the end. These days were shown to Daniel and to John and associated with God's judgment being poured out over the world. This judgment comes about because of sin in the world, but also as a result of the mixing of seed.
Alright, so 2:16. What's the next? Yeah, just let this play a little longer.
Between that of humanity and that of the fallen angels, as described to us in Daniel chapter 2 verse 43, and repeating what we saw during the days of Noah.
And whereas thou sawest the feet...
Alright, so I'm going to jump, we're at 2:49 right now. I'm going to jump ahead to this section here, because what we're really wanting to do is pay attention to dates and calendars. So he's got November 30th, 2020. This is a penumbral eclipse, I believe, of the moon. So there was supposed to be a shadow cast on the moon on the 30th. And then December 14th is solar eclipse. Now this is only going to be seen down in like Argentina, South America. And it also has Mercury right next to it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And then the big one.
The great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn.
It's going to look like a Christmas tree in the night sky, they're saying, right?
Yeah, and I actually, let's see, I do have a headline. What, all right, so here's my Google News, top stories for me. This month will bring 2020's biggest meteor shower, a solar eclipse, and the best kissing planets in 794 years. So
Kissing planets. Wow.
a lot of people have said 800 years. This hasn't happened in 800 years, but I guess technically it's 794 years. But so it's a significant event. This is a rare celestial phenomena.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because God's roadmap had been stating before that there could be a collision between Jupiter and Saturn. He had stated that. I don't hear him saying that now, but he made videos in the past where he was hardcore and he said what's going to happen is we're actually going to see the fragments heading towards us, just basically like the movie Greenland suggested, right?
Which is actually on this page as well.
Hang on. Can I get 2 rings? That's for Ronnie ringing the bell.
Well, in the article in between is the mysterious object hurtling towards Earth, and scientists don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know that one.
Which is supposed to be showing up today.
Yeah, we're supposed to see a giant tube-like thing flying across the sky, which nobody has any images of or live.
Yeah, a rocket booster from the 1960s.
Yeah. It probably says USA on it, right? The American flag.
Well, it was supposed to come within 50,000 kilometers, and so I was hoping to be able to get the P-1000 out and see the American flag on the side of the booster, but yeah, no, it's a psyop. So,
but yeah, interesting that those articles are all subconsciously placed there. Boom, 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 all with this stuff in the sky.
Yeah, they're all right there. So let's go ahead. See what he's saying here.
And the seed of the serpent. And this will be the closest they have been to each other from an observational perspective than they have been over a period of 800 years. And we read the following
794 to be exact.
As part of the very first prophecy that was given in the Word of God, where God most likely declared the end from the beginning.
Remember the former things of...
That's true.
All right, so I want to jump. We're covering dates and calendars here. This is going to be an important section.
of hosts. Yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land.
All right, so see what's taking place here. That the shaking of the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the dry land. So we got some shaking going on, and we're going to be given a date. So
this is certainly lining up with the dreams that many have received regarding an asteroid impact that will cause worldwide devastation and the USA to be split into two, telling us that we just need to wait a little longer and to have a little more patience before our blessed hope arrives. I also thought, let me see what else Haggai 2 had to say and what other details were provided to us in this chapter. These are some of the passages that stood out.
In the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying...
All right, so what's the date? Anybody?
24th of the month.
24th of the 9th month.
Consider now from this day and upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even...
Again, the 24th of the 9th month. Same book, same chapter.
from the day that the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. Consider it. Is the seed yet in the barn? Yea, as yet the vine, and the fig tree, and the pomegranate, and the olive tree hath not brought forth. From this day will I bless you. And again the word of the Lord came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying,
What? Same book, same chapter, third time, same date.
Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down every one by the sword of his brother. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith the Lord, and will make thee as a signet, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, serious, right?
Yeah, so this day here, it gets massive mention. 24th day of the 9th month, over and over and over. I think he's going to point some things out. We gotta hear this section out a little.
You will notice that a single date is mentioned 3 times in this chapter, and this is possibly also the only chapter in the Word of God where the same date is mentioned 3 times. I have not had time to confirm this yet, but it certainly stands out as a very important date to take note of. And this could very well be the date on which our Heavenly Father will shake the heavens and the earth, and on which those who belong to Him will escape that destruction. Now there are 2 possibilities when it comes to...
Again, we have a little bit of a different understanding of what we think is going to happen with escaping, right? I would love to see people that are true and pure and hard and that just taken away. But I don't know. You know, to be honest, I don't see too many people fighting for truth, fighting for the scriptures online, you know, doing everything they can to wake people up and share the gospel and share the end times. You know, I see some people, and a lot of people I see doing it are doing it for profit, right? So I don't know who these people that are going to get raptured out of here. I'd like to meet them, you know.
Well, it's interesting because God's roadmap is the guy that puts forth the three harvests. He's got the graphics. He shows first fruits is literally just a small handful.
Which could have been Yahushai's day.
And then the main harvest is mid, right? And then there's the gleanings. So even by his own graphics, the harvest that he's looking for should be mid, not pre.
Pre, yeah, correct.
Watching for this day as it would apply to our time. The first is using the Hebrew calendar, and on this calendar, the 24th day...
This again is the one that is going to be referred to as the screwed up Hebrew calendar, right?
The Yiddish one.
We'll get to that chart soon.
Of the 9th month falls on a date that we've already encountered in this video. That would be December 10th of 2020.
All right, so we encountered it earlier because this is the day that the FDA is supposed to do something with the vaccines. And we have Daniel Vallis promoting that date as well for the vaccines to begin. December 9th, 10th, 2020. It's a little bit more than a week away.
This is also the day on which the Feast of Dedication starts. As you will...
No, not really. So we'll show people from not the screwed up Hebrew calendar and not the Enochian calendar that doesn't work, but the Enochian calendar that does work.
Off the moon.
Off the moon, when that is actually going to take place on our Gregorian calendar. We'll be getting into that, so stay tuned.
You will recall from the start of this video, this is also the date on which the FDA is expected to approve the miry clay that will be mingled with the seed of men. And this date is once again clearly shown to us in the iPetco 2 animation as well, where the position of the sun in the constellation Scorpio is situated in the same position as that of December 10th. The second option in which the 24th day of the 9th month could be applied is to make use of the Enoch calendar.
All right, so I'll rewind it. I want you to hear that he gave you two options. Two options, but there's literally 3 calendars on the screen. And he's only talking about the 2 that don't work. And he doesn't mention the one that does. So, let's go back. Let's hear him say it. You've got 2 options. Both are going to be wrong. It's called the false dialectic.
Situated in the same position as that of December 10th. The second option in which the 24th day of the 9th month could be applied is to make use of the Enoch calendar, and on this calendar, the 24th day of the 9th month falls on January 13th.
Alright, do you see which line is highlighted here? He's got this bubble here with the Haggai 2:10, the 24th day of the 9th month. He's highlighted it in green over here on this calendar. On this one right here, it's the 10th first day, and this is Tevet 29 on the screwed up Hebrew calendar. This one right here, lining up on January 13th. So, one of the things I want to point out about the Enochian calendar is the new moon sets the beginning of the new month. New moon, new month. New moon, new month. So if you can see my cursor right here, here is where the new moon is. The new moon's on January 12th. And then what do you have here? On the screwed up Hebrew calendar, you have Tevet 29. And then Shavat 1 here. So this doesn't line up. It doesn't work. The screwed up Hebrew calendar does not, from the new moon, you don't get the next first day. Then if you come across here from the new moon, what is this? The 9th month, the 24th day? This is a new moon right here on January 12th. And they're saying the 9th month, the 24th day. So obviously, we can go to this. We've got this chart. And this calendar right here doesn't line up with the new moons. The screwed up Hebrew calendar over here. This is the one that you'll find on Shabbat.org. All right. This is the one that if you just Google when does Hanukkah start, it's going to go off of the screwed up Hebrew calendar, this column right here. There's 3 calendars on the page right now, and one of them works. It's the one in the middle.
Yeah, and I just wanted to correct you, not to derail the conversation too much. It's a false dichotomy, right?
Yes.
Sorry, you said dialectic.
Oh, yes, it's dichotomy.
But yeah,
and,
go ahead with that. So now you get to the 24th day of the 9th month on the actual correct Enochian month moon calendar date.
Well, that's originally, as soon as I was hearing these things, I wanted to go to this middle column, the one that I know works, the one that we've covered in multiple Hangouts now. And so it's up here. It shows on the page. Right? He's highlighted this line, but the one up here is actually in boldface on their chart. Here's the 9th month, the 24th day on the calendar that works, and that's January 7th. So I saw the connection right away that this 28 days from December 10th takes you to January 7th. This would be the full window. If they begin giving the jab December 10th, the last day of this window for this would land on January 7th. And that is, where did it go? That's the 9th month, 24th day. So people that have followed along, we did Shemini Atzeret twice because
we did.
Because we had originally done it on the screwed up Hebrew calendar. All right.
True.
But then we found this chart and saw how it lined up. So this is the spreadsheet. I've already downloaded it and I've got it saved. Fortunately, it's still available online. I'll copy this and I'll throw it in the chat for anybody that cares. So that's an online version. That's the one I originally found. Download it. All right? Download it. Just want to show people this chart. I'm going to scroll up to where this thing begins. We've shown it before. So it starts with this middle calendar, the one working. It's got a new moon here on April 22nd. And then the next day, April 23rd, they have listed as the first day of the first month here in 2020. Now, as you scroll through this, the calendar over here on the right, the one that he showed, it works at first, and then all of a sudden it goes off. Where let's go to another. Here's another new moon on July 20th. Now all of a sudden this is third month 29th day, and then there's a third month 30th day, and then there's a third month 31st day, and then they don't have the first day of the fourth month starting until well after this new moon. Right? This is where this calendar just all of a sudden just jumps way off. Now the other difference between these three calendars is that Nisan is considered the first month. So on what they have, the screwed up Hebrew calendar, they have Nisan 1 beginning March 26th. Notice that it doesn't hit correctly after a new moon. So it goes March 24th, then 25th, there's just a gap here, and then on the 26th, Nisan 1 beginning. Now if they took the screwed up Hebrew calendar and they shifted this whole column down till it lines up after this new moon, if you just made this Nisan 1 right here, all of a sudden the screwed up Hebrew calendar is a correct Hebrew calendar. Right? They started it a month early. So if you just drag this column right here down, it will line up with this calendar, what they call the 354 moon day count. Just throw the title away. This calendar here, from new moon all the way through the year, it goes new moon, first day of the second month. Scroll down, get to a new moon. Here, new moon, first day of the fourth month. You just go all the way through, it lines up the entire way. And this is the reason why we drew so much attention to today. Today's December 2nd. This is the 8th month, 17th day. This is the day that the flood began in the year 2020. Based on being the 17th day of the 8th month. This is how the calendars work. We have pointed out other key days. The 9th month, 11th day, 9/11, lands on December 25th this year. Key satanic day, 9/11 lands on December 25th. Now we were just listening to how the 9th month and the 24th day is when this great shaking is to take place. It's January 7th.
Yeah, we're watching. We're warning people. We're calling it out now. We're seeing the significance of it.
Yeah, totally. And I just want to give a little bit more confirmation calendar-wise. Here's another channel. I believe this is a shill channel, but another person that's paying attention to the end times things, and listen to what this person says.
that's on the corrected Torah calendar. Whether God observes today as that day or not, don't know.
Let me go back a little. I think I missed. This one throws the hand signs a lot.
As Hanukkah is approaching, today is the 2nd of December, which in the today and tomorrow was a high watch day for
today and tomorrow. Throwing the big hand signs here. This is like Trump Jr. Today and tomorrow. So like we said early on, when the sun set today, it became 8:17, at least for us here. And it's not until the sun sets everywhere on Earth tomorrow that 8:17 will be over. So we, like this person said, we're in this high watch time period, one that we've been calling out for a long time. We don't know what to expect from this time period. We know that the scriptures say, just like it was in the days of Noah, and this is the day that the flood began. The door was shut and rains began on 8:17. So listen again. This to me is confirmation. This person's referencing maybe like a correct calendar, like the one that we were showing right here, that God's Roadmap to the End was referencing. A number of other channels have been referencing this spreadsheet here. And so that 9/24, January 7th. But the flood, this is what I was, 8/17, December 2nd. December 2nd. So we know that the days begin when the sun sets.
December, which in the today and tomorrow was a high watch day for Noah's flood. Yeah, but that's on the
and this was streamed two hours ago. So this is this person's referring to today, December 2nd.
Corrected Torah calendar. Whether God observes today as that day or not, don't know for sure. So as we're looking at Hanukkah, I'm observing the present calendar in Israel right now.
All right. So okay. Hanukkah is an interesting study because the screwed up Hebrew calendar is off by a month. All right. So this screwed up Hebrew calendar needs to be dragged down a month. We did Shemini Atzeretz twice because the screwed up Hebrew calendar is off by a month. That means that Hanukkah is going to be off by a month. The beginning date of Hanukkah is going to be a month later. You can use this calendar right here. Which day does Hanukkah begin? It's going to be in the... Is it in the 9th month? I think I lost Ronnie.
I'm here. Were you asking me specifically? I didn't hear my name at the end of that question.
No, I'm sorry. When does Hanukkah begin?
14th, right? I'm pretty sure. Like on the Gregorian calendar, I believe. Do you want me to do a quick search? I got you, bro. I wouldn't leave you hanging like that. I'm sorry. I was trying to troll you with that response.
I can't be trolled, bro.
I didn't get a laugh out of you. If you don't actually refer to me in the question. Hanukkah 2020. I think it says the 20th. Thursday, December 10th to Friday, December 18th is the Hanukkah. And that's a celebration of the Maccabeans' victory. They basically had some sort of a candle issue, and I don't know if you want me to go into the back history of all of it, but the supposed candle with a little bit of oil stayed lit for, 8 days. So they celebrate those 8 days. They call it Hanukkah.
So December 10th, that would be on the screwed up Hebrew calendar, Kislev 24. But if we drop this column down a month, Kislev 24 would be, yeah, like January 8th or 7th. All right, so the beginning of Hanukkah is actually January 7th, this 9th month, 24th day on the correct calendar. So just pointing that out, if your whole screwed up Hebrew calendar is a month back, saying that Hanukkah is beginning in December this year is wrong. It's going to be in January. So, calendars, people, we've got a few things to look for in the next month or so. A few things.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone needs to keep tuning in and looking for truth themselves, and who knows what we're going to see, right?
Yeah, something's going to come soon. Pretty sure of that.
So basically, are we done the links?
I think so.
Again, everybody, please pray for Yahweh's daughter that she can be back in the chat. We miss her sorely. Her speedy recovery. Thank you, Jason, as well, always for producing great content for the viewers on my channel now, which hasn't really had too much use in a while. And I guess that's just the way that it's going to go. We're going to be here for a little while, and it doesn't matter where we have to go. We'll go anywhere. We'll continue to fight. I think we should be back Friday, or I don't know. It depends on what happens, depends on how things are with our schedules. But thank you to everybody in the chat, all the people that were lurking. We love you all, and we're thankful that each and every one of you tune in. If you could give a like and a comment, I'd be really appreciated, because it helps, other people find our content. It used to, at least. So I'll let you say the last words, Jason. I was going to take the screen share so you could hear the timing, but I don't know. I got the thumbnail back up.
Yeah, I can drop the screen share.
So yeah, give me your final overtake on the content that we shared tonight, please.
Let's see. Just a brief review. There was a channel update as far as we're going to be going live here on the Limitless channel because of 2 strikes on the Awake Souls. We covered Section 230, how Trump's going to defund the Defense Department unless if he can get rid of the only thing that allows us freedom of speech right now. And the calendar, went through the calendar as far as screwed up Hebrew calendar and the one that works, days to be paying attention to, and a whole bunch of other articles that Ronnie covered. So we like to stay on top of things, the things that are popping off right now, and we like to turn it around and share with you the things that we're seeing, and hopefully it's of some benefit to you. So we do this for free. We do this out of love for the truth, and we hope you enjoy it. So we look forward to going live again soon. Like Ronnie said, our schedules are up in the air right now, but expect us on the Limitless channel with, Friday or Sunday coming up soon. So thank you, everyone, and go Yahushai News Network.